Hi there, everyone. This is Kate here from the Style Coaching Institute. And today I'm honoured to be chatting with Maha Alangari, a certified style coach who graduated from the Style Coach Diploma course and now has a dream job working as a senior personal shopping consultant at the iconic Selfridges department store in London. Now, I remember the first time that I connected with Maha. It was at the end of March 2020, which, as we all know, was right when the COVID lockdown started happening. And I think a lot of us at that time were looking for a silver lining, a positive way that we could spend our time when we were at home. Now, at that time, Maha and I shared a really energizing conversation on Zoom, and it quickly became clear to me that not only was Maha a very passionate advocate for the power of personal style, but she also had a deep desire for a career that had the potential to meaningfully touch the lives of other people. The following week, I remember being really happy when Maha decided that she would join our global learning community and officially start her journey to become a style coach with us. From that point on, I worked with Maha until she graduated from the style coach course in record time, by the way, and also earning an honours diploma for her final exam work too. Needless to say, she was a very impressive learner. She was full of enthusiasm. She was very talented, optimistic, and she also had a clear vision for the future, which is something that I really admired then and I still do now. So that was 2 years ago now, and it's been fascinating to follow Maha's career progression since then, which is why today I wanted to take this opportunity to catch up with Maha and invite you guys to join us too, so that we could find out more about how she's been getting on with her style coaching career so far. So hi there, Maha, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm so pleased to have you here with us. It's a pleasure and it's a privilege for me to welcome you today to this relaxed, chilled out interview. And for our audience at home, perhaps you might be able to begin, Maha, by telling us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you really to pursue a career in professional style coaching.
It's such a pleasure and privilege to meet you too, Kate. I grew up in an environment surrounded by fashion and style. I've been a fashion buyer for a multi-brand boutique for many years. I wanted to improve, develop myself, and push myself further. So I thought the best thing is to express my styling talent. After taking my first course in fashion styling, I felt I wanted to learn more. So I did some research and came across the Style Coaching Institute. I got inspired and to pursue a career in style coaching because it's connected to self-development and self-confidence, which is hugely important to me.
So it sounds like your career as a style coach is something that didn't necessarily happen overnight as such, but rather that it evolved in many ways from who you are as a person, your desire to push yourself forwards and keep growing and developing your talents. And although I understand that you were previously a fashion buyer, I guess studying style coaching has allowed you to move closer towards the aspects of styling that you enjoy the most. And also, I guess, the issues that you feel most deeply connected to, which, like you say, Maha, are things like your own self-development and also helping to build up other people's self-confidence too. So this really leads me to my next question, which is, after you graduated as a style coach, did anything change for you as a stylist? And if so, did you notice any big differences in your career fulfillment?
Well, after graduating as a style coach, my skills and tools improved immensely. And being a style coach made me exploit my talent in every possible way, which of course fulfilled my career.
I totally hear you. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always think that when we feel that we're fulfilling our potential and making the most of our talents, that's when we're really able to feel as though we're living our best lives and we're bringing out the best version of ourselves in everything that we do. I really believe that a person's work does fill such a large part of their life. So it's unbelievably important to find something that you truly love, because if you love it, then you tend to put your heart into it, which results in you doing a really great job. I know, though, for a lot of people, it does take many years for them to discover what they're truly passionate about and where their talents lie. But when they do discover that, I find that it really does translate into true career fulfillment and job satisfaction, as they say. So I'm so glad that you found us and that you're now able to incorporate all of those things that are important to you into your work.
I'm very glad too.
Oh, so going back to what I was saying, Maha, about your career sort of evolving from your interests and your passions, I was wondering if you could perhaps walk us through some of the steps that you took when you graduated from the course and what led you to your current position, being in Selfridges with the personal shopping concierge team, because that's so exciting. I'm so pleased for you.
Thank you so much. Well, I started with tiny steps, which developed into huge steps. I made use of every chance that came across my way. I started styling a small circle, which became bigger with time. I did collaborations with fashion stores, virtual styling websites, styled photo shoots, and did theater styling at the Palladium West End Theater.
Wow.
So it's these small projects and that developed into bigger ones that really helped me.
That sounds amazing. But, you have to be willing, like I say, to put yourself out there and,
Yes.
Try things that are new and different and a little bit scary at times. So I hope you feel really proud of how far you've come.
I am very proud and happy.
Oh, I'm so glad. So moving on, Maha, I would love to touch on the fact that this journey isn't always easy for a lot of people. And I know that you had mentioned when we chatted by email that you have had some bumpy times with it.
Yes.
And some self-doubts over the last couple of years, which have made you wonder at times whether you should give up or keep going. So I wanted to ask really if you could possibly share with us some of your biggest challenges so far and what you've done personally to overcome them.
Well, my biggest challenge was keeping my patience at the beginning.
Yeah.
I found that pursuing a career in style coaching or fashion styling needs a lot of patience, since it's a slow-paced career at the beginning. But once you achieve your first goal, you eventually achieve bigger goals.
Yes, that's so
You
true.
have to be patient.
Yes. I mean, that's very true, Maha. I couldn't agree more, really. Patience is everything, but I think the slow pace in the beginning can be quite an uncomfortable feeling for a lot of people. I try to remind myself that patience in itself is actually a form of action. It just doesn't feel like it because we're not going a million miles an hour. We're not going anywhere fast. I think we all have days when challenges do seem overwhelming and we're not sure whether we should be keeping on trying to move forwards or whether we should turn around and go back the way we came. But if you imagine your future self giving advice to your present day self, they'd probably say, come on, you've got this, hang in there, because it will be so worth it in the end. So my next question for you, Maha, is whether you can pinpoint someone or something that has had a really positive impact on your first couple of years as a style coach, and why or how this has made a big difference to you.
Understanding style personalities has definitely had a positive impact on my first 2 years as a style coach. When you understand the style personality, you will always get it right when you style and create outfits for a client.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's a great answer, actually. Style personalities are so interesting. And when you understand the concept, it definitely does make styling an outfit or an entire wardrobe so much easier. So yes, it's wonderful to hear that the knowledge that you gained from the style coaching course has made personal styling easier for you and more effective too, of course. My next question, Maha, is whether you could perhaps share with us some of the lessons that you've learned during your first couple of years of being a style coach.
Well, the most important lesson is never underestimate a small step in your career that will lead to a bigger one.
That's such good advice. I think a lot of people disregard these small steps, thinking that they won't make a big difference, but in fact, they make all the difference. Especially when you look back with the wisdom of hindsight, because you don't necessarily realize it at the time, but the small steps you take, they do all add up, so long as you're going in the right direction to start with. So Maha, I was wondering, as a style coach, who are some of your favorite people to work with, and what do you enjoy the most about your work? Because you touched on the fact that you love style personalities. So
Yes.
I was keen to learn what other things you really enjoyed.
Well, my favorite kind of people to work with are reliable, honest people that have creative, romantic style personalities, such as myself.
Oh,
You
lovely.
always relate to those who share the same style personality.
Yes.
And what I enjoy most about my work is being creative, creating outfits, and making someone feel better about themselves with increased self-confidence.
Oh, lovely. Oh, you found the right work to do then, Maha. That's wonderful.
Yes.
'Cause it is ever so interesting. Obviously, this is a question that I've asked a lot of people over the years about their work as style coaches, and I hear all kinds of different answers. For instance, a lot of people will say that it's seeing the inner transformation of their clients and how much more confident they become, whereas others say things like, "Oh, I really love the personal shopping side of it and creating fabulous new outfit combinations that capture my client's style personality." Whereas others then highlight also how much it means to them that they have their freedom to be their own bosses, that they can work their own hours, that they have like the joy of creating a business that belongs to them and reflects their values as a person. So there are so many incredible reasons to love being a style coach, and it's lovely to know what some of your reasons are, Maha. That's fantastic. So my next question is, has there been anything that surprised you about being a style coach, something that you weren't necessarily expecting?
Well, I didn't expect to be that knowledgeable about body shape, style personalities, and color analysis. The knowledge of the Style Coaching Institute is really priceless.
Oh, well, I'm really pleased to hear that, obviously. I always think that it's great when we can pleasantly surprise our students and exceed their expectations wherever possible. So that's really fabulous feedback. Thank you, Maha. But it's also a credit to you for putting in the work and being such a wonderful learner. I think you definitely get out what you put into a lot of courses. And I know that you are very dedicated to doing your best with the course, and that makes all the difference. So let's talk more about personal styling and personal shopping.
Yes.
So I was wondering, before you start choosing outfits for your new clients, what are some of the most important things as a stylist that you would like to get to know about them?
Their body shape, style personality, lifestyle, and complexion.
Yes, I mean, of course, you're absolutely right. As a stylist, there are certain things like body shape and complexion that you can easily observe with your expert eye. And you can also use your knowledge to pick out clothes that you know are going to enhance and beautify women of every body shape and size. It's all about, getting the right balance and proportion, understanding silhouettes, and then, of course, combining this knowledge with your knowledge of color palettes that are going to harmonize with the client's own personal color characteristics, to help her feel more vibrant, healthy, and energized. But I find that, a lot of people also don't realize that their clothes are a form of nonverbal communication, and that their clothes are an expression of who they are as a person. So I imagine that you must, as you're chatting to your clients, I imagine that you're picking up on lots of things along the way as well that aren't quite so obvious in terms of what you can observe with your eyes, but rather that you're listening intently to what kind of a person are you? What's your lifestyle like? What kind of roles do you have in your life? And, what will this outfit be for? Is it for a special occasion? Is it for, going out with the children or being on the school run? Or is it for, a work environment or anything like that? So yeah, it's interesting how much you need to get to know a client on lots of different levels before you start buying outfits for them.
Yeah.
So Maha, on quite a light-hearted note, I was curious myself, how on earth do you cope with working at Selfridges and seeing so many beautiful clothes every day? I mean, if it was me, I would be tempted to buy a lot of clothes for myself along the way as well. So what do you do to avoid that?
Well, I love beautiful clothes, but my lifestyle is very work-oriented now. So I shop in a more practical way. Seeing my clients buying beautiful things gives me the same fulfillment.
Yes.
And sometimes seeing the same beautiful item every day makes you feel that you've worn it already.
Yes. I mean, I can understand that. And it's lovely that you gain so much pleasure from seeing your clients' own pleasure in buying beautiful new things for themselves. I also think you're right, Maha, that when you do see the same items every day, it does change the way that you feel about needing to purchase them. I experience a similar thing myself with online styling and creating the masterclasses, because I find I spend so much time looking at clothes online for my work that I don't feel the same need to go clothes shopping for myself on my days off. Like you said, I love beautiful clothes too, but you're right that shopping does become very work orientated, and I suppose in a lot of ways that helps to save us from ourselves and becoming shopping addicts. So Maha, for anyone who's at home and listening into our chat, and who's sort of wondering, I wonder what a typical day looks like in the life of a style coach, could you give us a quick insight into what it's like to wake up every day and know that you're going into work to do a job that you love?
Yes, it's always fascinating because you never know who you'll meet, who you'll style. You meet different personalities. But I'd say, I start my day, of course, with coffee. I go to work, I meet clients, I style them, I create outfits, I attend briefs about brands, and then I do more styling. So it's a lot of work in one day.
Yes, but I imagine it sounds like a lot of fun, and very creative as well.
Yes.
I imagine you really get to know all of the clothes that are in the store available to you. So it must feel wonderful to be able to go around and pick out not just an outfit, but to go around and find all the different accessories that are going to enhance the outfit and make it unique to each individual client. So
yes, and you get
wonderful
to understand the brands and the cuts of clothing and what fits who. So it's great.
Yes, and I can imagine it's also the same with style personalities, that different brands are better suited to certain style personalities over others. So you'll know which ones are your go-to brands for each client.
Yes.
Oh, fabulous. And looking towards the future, Maha, when you consider your intentions for a style coach moving forwards, what changes do you feel that you're most excited to manifest in your life or create in your life?
Well, I'm very grateful to have reached where I am today, a personal shopping consultant and style coach. I'm enjoying the present and not thinking too much about the future, but just looking forward to it.
Oh, I can understand that. That's a lovely way of looking at it, actually, Maha. I think a lot of the time we're so focused on the future events and future goals that we kind of don't enjoy as much the present moment. So actually, that's very refreshing. I love your answer. And finally, I have to ask, what advice would you give to someone else who might be considering a career in personal styling or style coaching for themselves?
Okay, I think make sure you're passionate about it. If you are, you'll do very well. keep the motivation, collaborate, and start with small steps, which will lead into bigger ones.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you. Maha,
Thanks
it's
to
wonderful
you.
chatting with you. And I appreciate everything that you've shared with us. And I think that the audience at home will as well, because I think when you're starting to think about a new career, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But the way that you've sort of expressed it as breaking it down into small steps, I think that's very encouraging for a lot of people, that they know, it's possible for anybody to start. And everybody's a beginner at some point, and every expert's a beginner at some point. So it's very encouraging to know that you've achieved so much personally yourself, and I think people will find that very inspiring to hear more about your story.
Thank you.
Talking of which, where can our audience go if they would like to follow you online or perhaps visit your website? We'd love to know all the details.
Well, I've got a website. I'll share the link with you, and I've got an Instagram account, and my contact is there, so it's very easy to reach me. And Kate, really, I can't say it enough, but your course, if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't be doing so well now.
Because
no, honestly, because the vocabulary, the education, the style, personalities, body shape. I did many courses, by the way, with in other places, but your course is different. And I always say it to people, even in Selfridges, when they ask me, every time you style a client, they never leave without buying. How do you do it? I told them I did a course at styling and at the Institute of Style Coaching, and I learned a lot. I learned about the personalities and body shape, and it's different than any other place. And this is why I do well.
Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful to hear, Maha. You're very kind to share that with us, because if we hear little bits of information about how our work is translating into real life experiences and everyday experiences for our style coaches and their clients, then it helps us to stay a lot more motivated.
Of course.
We know what the end result of our work is, whatever we're doing
here
in this, that it is actually translating.
Yeah, if your student is serious, of course. Yes. If they're serious, they will do very well, I think. And thank you so much for this chance, and really, and I'm happy to be part of your family of the Style Coaching Institute.
Oh, I'm so glad, Maha, because it's really nice. Every time I do get an email from you with little tidbits of information about how you're getting on, it really means a lot to me, that we can stay in touch.
Of course. Thank you so much, Kate, for believing in me, and thank you for giving me the chance to speak about my experience, and for your kindness and continuous support.
Honestly, Maha, it's a pleasure. You're lovely. And like I say, it's wonderful for me to just watch how you're getting on and to be here to support you and encourage you along the way. And I hope you're very proud of yourself, and we're very proud of everything that you're achieving too. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to let us catch up on all of your news and to congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Maha. So we'll say goodbye for now, everybody, and we will catch up with Maha again, hopefully this time next year. But thank you, Maha. Lovely to chat to you.
Lovely to chat to you too. Thank you so much, Kate. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.